Who's starting us off?
Let me start with the Daily Graphic.
Yes, a very important story.
And it is actually the biggest story on the front page. Ogwamanhin celebrates 25-year milestone. And he's been saying something.
Ogwamanhin.
Okay,
Continue.
because you asked for him, I'll give you benefit of the doubt.
Otherwise, you'd have argued.
Yes. Involve chiefs in governance. Involve chiefs in governance. Osaberima Kwesiata II. His Royal Highness Osaberima Kwesiata II advocates. So let me give you some details because
Please
it's a
do.
very important story. The paramount chief of Ogwa traditional area, Osaberima Kwesiata II, has advocated the proper inclusion of chiefs in governance through appropriate legislation to accelerate socio-economic development in the communities. He explained that chiefs play critical and socially acceptable roles as authority through constant interaction with traditional structures of governance and the communities. Therefore, their active involvement in local governance will positively impact their communities. Such new roles, he said, must be properly structured and legislated for clarity. The quote here says, chiefs must be involved, don't complain, in the country because chiefs are at the grassroots of society. They interact with the grassroots, the people. They live with them and understand their needs more than the government that sits up there. If chiefs are properly involved in governance, resolution of many problems will be easier, he stated. He observed that in times past, chiefs were widely recognized and esteemed as overlords of their communities, overseeing a lot of engagement from business to social activities and the development of their communities. However, over the years, he said the powers of the chiefs had been taken away by politicians through legislation. Because some of the laws passed do not really address the needs of the grassroots, everything now has to be referred to government, and the chieftaincy institution is portrayed now as less useful, which is not so. He said this in an interview at Efikesim in Cape Coast last Saturday, and the Osaberima dismissed perception that the chieftaincy institution has outlived its usefulness and must therefore be scrapped. And that's, of course, he also advised. Yes. He said that it was, in fact, the work of a president was a difficult one. That's advised the president. However, he urged the president to prioritize developmental projects and undertake the important ones that impacted majority of Ghanaians positively. And he also made other points, including touching on the Fetu Afashe and its relevance to preserving culture. He said every community had a unique feature, and this is what actually makes the good people, the great people of the ancient city of Cape Coast unique. Yes, it's
Osaberima has spoken.
Yes.
And you see, when Nana speaks, it's final.
Brilliant.
So I don't want to add anything.
Yeah.
Because Osaberima has spoken.
But so many times Kojo has spoken, you have other things.
It was a really.
You still want me to get back to that?
Yes.
It was a really insightful interview. I happened to be there when it was done.
Oh, I see.
Because I'm the chair of the media subcommittee for the Afashe. So I was
the
there.
PR.
He arranged that interview.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I was there, and it was quite enlightening, to see how he tried to describe the different governance structures that exist in traditional leadership compared to political leadership, and how they are supposed to actually work together. So to his mind, before political leadership comes up with policies, one of the most important things they should do is sit with the chiefs, because it's the chief's house that everyone is bringing problems to. So if you want to solve problems, who better to give you input than the guy who is listening to problems all day long?
You see,
and I liked that.
Yes,
I like that concept.
Now that you've raised this, you see, it's actually the reason, as part of our decentralization process, we indicated that 30% of members of the district assembly be appointed in consultation with traditional leaders. Because these persons who are appointed by traditional leaders, as expected, would know. And in some instances, you've had, traditional rulers sitting as part of the Council of State that offers advice and everything. It is important also that going forward, these persons must not just be appointed by the president sitting in Accra.
Yeah.
And then, so I am happy that Osaberima is talking about this. We must insist that these people, there is involvement of the right institutions in appointment of these people.
Yeah.
Because we say that, you see, the decentralization is the way to go. Because there's what we call informational advantage, as in you're close to the people.
Yeah.
Precisely.
So you know what the people need and want.
Yeah.
And that's what you must deliver on. And so once the Osaberima has spoken, that's it. We'll meet on the 7th of
That's right.
you know,
That's right.
September, and that's contingent on what you are supposed to do.
Oh, Massa. Consider it done.
You are,
That is
you are
the
expected
least,
to do something.
That is the least of
more
our
than-
problems.
Consider it done.
Okay.
Consider it done.
Yes, so for his, what
This
they
is
call
my
it.
message to you from
Yes,
Osaberima.
yes.
That it shall be done.
My friend Daniela Agana has been worrying me every time we mention this. So, Master, you go do.
So, well, the other story on the front page, engage auditors to ensure electoral integrity, and talking about elections and related activities. We do know that the exhibition exercise is still ongoing, right? Even though they are reporting very low tenor. I mean, that happens. I don't know. People feel that they are on the ballot and they do not think that, they are on the electoral rolls, so they do not think that they necessarily have to go and check. But sometimes you might not know. There might have been a mistake. The day of the election, if you show up, it might be problematic.
In fact,
And you
have
might
to
be
check.
confused. It might be, it might create chaos and all of that. So now that there's a short code, you sure can actually take advantage of that too. If you are not in the position to travel to the center you are voting to check whether your name is indeed in the electoral roll. So please, it's important that you participate in this exercise. Don't leave it to the last minute also, so that you go enjoy long queues there. Yeah, really.
It's a positive use of technology. Let's take advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I get to the new finder for today? It says Guta others oppose new Shippers Act. Petition President Akufo-Addo not to sign it. And GTA to unveil December in GH Tourism Extravaganza. And NHIA's disbursement for free dialysis rises to over 1.5 million. And that's something that we're interested in. So we're told that the National Health Insurance Authority has announced that its payments towards the government's free dialysis program has reached 1.5 million as of September 2024. September. We're not in September yet, right? Okay. So these payments cover the cost of treatment from June to September, reflecting the NHI's ongoing commitment to improving access to essential medical services. And we're told the first payment of 587,236 was made in June, while the second tranche of 1 million was disbursed to cover services for July and August, and advance payment for September. Okay, that's good news. But I also think that the NHIA can pay for all patients on dialysis. The NHIA can pay for all patients on dialysis.
If it gets all 7 billion or 8 billion.
Yes. But even without all the 7 billion or 8 billion, it can still pay.
Okay.
It can still pay. And Dr. Da Costa Boaji, we've had this conversation before.
Back and forth on it,
Yes,
yeah.
I mean, and I still insist they can pay. And as one who believes in, the healthcare needs of our people, I say NHIA, pay. But if it's the case, okay, you've made another point. I think that government has no business whatsoever capping NHIL funds.
Yeah, we've been saying this from.
Government has no business.
It is almost, it rises to the level of being criminally negligent, because without the money, some people will not get health care. Without the health care, some people will die.
And this was a Kenufuriata move, wasn't it?
Yes, I mean, at the time.
So I think that government has no business doing that. But we should be concerned about the health needs of our people.
Yes.
I don't know why it's so difficult for us.
If we are not concerned about every other things, because this one keeps them alive.
Can I say something in support of that? How much did Kwame Sapon calculate it would cost to actually provide this, care for dialysis patients throughout the year? Wasn't it some 7 million cedis?
Let me just check. I'll check that.
I recall a figure around 7 million cedis. I'm happy to be corrected if I've got it wrong. But assuming that is what he said. 7 million cedis. we were able to spend $3.6 million to broadcast games that, according to them, nobody wanted to watch, because nobody wanted to come and pay them for the rights to broadcast it.
True.
So nobody wanted to watch, but we were able to pay $3.6 million to broadcast it to nobody. No, I think we can afford to pay for dialysis
to
treatment.
keep people alive.
Come on.
You remember this gentleman who went to actually climb some electricity pole?
Yes.
Because he's been frustrated moving from one hospital to the other because he cannot get kidney care.
Wanted to kill himself.
This is 21st century. It's the least you can do for your citizens. Give them some basics so that they'll feel proud of belonging to a state. So that they'll feel that when they are in their lowest help, even if they will not survive, somebody helped them in the last moments of their life. People should not threaten to take their own lives because they cannot get kidney care.
Nobody should struggle to pay for dialysis in this country.
And we sat here, we had a conversation. That girl, see, her voice still rings in my head whenever we mention this kidney and Priscilla Asante. We allowed a 15-year-old to die of something that we could have prevented if only we prioritized. And Kojo, yes, this amount of money could have taken care of at least Priscilla for the rest of her life.
In fact, you imagine what we
And
could
extended
have done
and give her a quality of life.
Imagine what we could have done with the whole $245 million that we spent on that abortive project.
I mean, this one, if you bring it, you make me go emotional on it back anyway. Now, the Catholic Standard is reporting this morning, election is not a fight. This is Most Reverend Matthew Kwesi Gyamfi, the Bishop of Sunyani and the President of the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference. He's called on the youth to avoid violence during 2024 election. In fact, it says here, election is not a fight. The people we vote for, they are not enemies. But the people who are on the ground seem not to understand certain things, and they engage in many violent actions in defense of those at the top. These political leaders are very friendly, he stressed. So that is what is being, that's advice to all young people. I mean, yeah, and I don't know if people are so eager to go and fight for other people, but clearly